And please welcome her opponent from China, Sun Yingsha.
It's time for the Xia Show. The fans make their feelings known and heard inside this Renaissance arena here as she prepares to face an opponent against whom she's never surrendered a game in WTT action. It's the French woman who's now 40 years old up against a player 16 years her junior. So Yingsha knows that as challenges come in women's table tennis, this is about as tough as it could possibly be. Best of 5 though, as we are still in the round of 32. Of course, that changes in a couple of days' time. There it is, that head-to-head, the most recent of those coming at the Singapore Smash 2024. Straight games, 3 to love there. WTT champions Macau 2022, their previous meeting, again in straight games, 4 to love by Xia. And that's the difference in world ranking. Some 24 world ranking places between them. But if you're inside the top 30, that makes you someone who could cause problems. Ben Foot is in the chair, and in a minute we'll hear his English tones as the players come in for the coin toss. And we'll be hearing plenty of their tones as well. You can be sure of that.
Okay, we do the toss. Choice of red or black. Black. Black, you win the toss. Choose to receive, you choose ends.
So that was handled very quickly and efficiently, and will Xia be looking to do the same? It's been a day of lightning-fast results, this one. Fraser Riley has commentated on a couple of those already. We've just been looking at Yukiya Uda getting it done quickly against Zhang Wujin. And I suppose as we take a long look at both of these players here, not them, of course, it'll be, I suppose, most of the fans of Xia here thinking, yep, she's going to turn up and get it done again. What do you think, Fraser?
I think that she will, but as we saw yesterday with Adrienne Rosenforst against Liang Jinkun, even a player ranked outside the top 100 in the world can beat a top 5 world player. So Yuan Zhen are more than capable of causing an upset. You mentioned the last meeting at the 2022 Champions Macau. That was the event where Yuan Zhen defeated Wang Monyu. So she has beaten top Chinese players before. Xia, though, is very accustomed to this short pimple style.
Yeah, and that's the thing, isn't it? It takes a lot to surprise her. Maybe that's why Hashimoto can become such a dangerous player in the draw. She knows what she's up against here, Xia. And then what we tend to do with Xia is we look to her own form in an event, look to anything extraneous that might stop her doing what she does, which is basically win smashes. Look at this. Champion in 2023 in Singapore, in China in 2024, and again in Singapore already this year. A serial smash winner at Grand Smash action here in Europe. So, she'll start as favourite for this one. What do we expect from the match? What are you looking for?
I'm looking forward to the high toss serve of Yuan Zhen. Can she get that flat forehand into play? We will see. Or could Sun Yingsha handcuff her in the serve-receive game? I tell you what, as well, Sun Yingsha will not want a repeat of the US smash, where she was defeated very early by her standards.
And they won't want it either, because there's the Shark, there's Xia, and the fan votes, of course, 85% reckon that the world's #1 is getting it done here. Have fun, girls. I hope that there's some really great table tennis to enjoy here. With Xia on show, you know the quality is going to be premium.
Yeah, but at the same time, it might not be a long match, so savor it while you can.
This is your women's singles challenger from France, and Sun Yingsha from China. Give it up for our athletes.
And give it up they do. Right, this one's about to get underway.
Sun versus Yuan, first game. Sun to serve. Level.
Plenty have tried to disrupt the Xia game, and given her extraordinary win percentage in WTT outings, not that many have succeeded. What does Yuan have to do to derail the #1?
I think she has to receive very, very aggressively, because Sun Yingsha will find ways to make it tricky for YUAN to play the flat forehand with the short pips. YUAN opting for a similar, well, identical equipment choice on the forehand to what we saw from Matthias Falk. Sun Yingsha will play it into that crossover section. She'll look to switch the direction of play where she can. So Yuan Jinan has to be as aggressive as she can be, as early on as possible. She's a third ball kill player. She doesn't want to enter a longer rally.
And we saw 2 examples of that extremely high toss that looks to set up that third ball kill. Didn't work this time out, either time.
Yeah, it's a real skyscraper, isn't it, that service? Such an iconic silhouette. I think we're going to get some fireworks here, John, because Sun Yingsha is not looking to rally either.
Well, they got into it a little bit there. Flick of the net halfway through, but it's Xia who's got the upper hand already.
Yeah, a lot of aggression from the get-go. 2 lovely backhands from Xia. Good recovery. Keeps the bat high. Gets the forehand in 2.
We've seen so much of Xia down the years already, but it's always a delight, that previous shot. And we see it so many times, playing a shot, both feet off the ground, on the move, perfect control. She's very special.
She's looking for her 16th WTT senior title. She's imperious.
One, 6.
You know, you can play a tactically very sound match but still get battered. That's the reality. I think the placement of Yuan Jinan good there. Xia with that injection of pace.
7-1.
Very, very hard to see too many weaknesses in the Sun Yingsha game at the moment. Next level, you might even say.
Eight, 1.
And I suppose mentally, as anyone comes up against Xia has to do, Yuan just has to stay strong, maintain that mental fortress. Because at the moment, it's
9.
absolutely besieged.
No stone unturned. It's hard not to get discouraged, isn't it? It really is.
1.
Just a different
10.
league altogether, isn't it?
9 game points. She's not been troubled. Yuan really struggling to find a foothold in this match, even if this one is a write-off already, this game.
10, 2.
Went for the showpiece finish there, Sun Yingsha, but the backhand serve quite tricky there from Yuan. A little bit of side spin that just kicked away from Sun Yingsha's sweet spot. Very optimistic effort from Sun. She went for a statement there. 8 game points remaining, though. Yeah.
Off net and edge of table.
Game to Sun.
But that was going to get done in a hurry anyway, and that was a quick first game there. Doesn't teach us anything we didn't already know about Xia, but it does suggest that this could get away from her opponent very quickly. So, without really breaking a sweat, 11-2 for Xia in the first. Here's a comparison Compared with the men's draw, where there has been a lot of casualties along the way, look at this, the top seeds here, all intact still. We'll confirm a couple of other results involving one or two of those players in due course, but who's going to be the first to fall in women's singles action here at Europe Smash Sweden 2025?
Just saw Such there just sneak in as a 16. The rest of them are top 15 players in the world, are Asian players. They dominate the women's game.
Yeah, actually, Bernadette Such has actually gone out. Look at that, 100% points won on serve. Well, she did cruise that first game. Yeah, Bernadette Such went out with Samara, knocked out in the women's doubles a little bit earlier on.
Nice there, two long serves, making it a guessing game. And it's a protective long serve as well because it's coated with backspin and side spin. And, you know, Sun Yingsha will want to attack it because it's long, but it's tough to attack it powerfully because of the backspin that she has to actually lift a little bit. Good start here from YUAN Jeonnam.
One, two.
But given a chance to serve and to dictate, Xia comes straight back.
Beautiful, gliding backhand there from Sun. YUAN played a flashy forehand slap down the line. Sun read it so well. She brushes the ball there.
Unflashy, unshowy, but there's so much for the opponent to try and deal with here. Now, back to the YUAN Jeonnam serve. We had a lovely high, wide angle on the high toss as she won both of her opening service points. What does she go with this time?
Two, three.
She went for something a little bit slower and half long, tempting Sun Yingsha to spin up, trying to set up that flat forehand, which can be deadly. Can be a deadly flat forehand.
Teammates and fans alike all looking to learn from Sun Yingsha.
4-2.
And she adapts so quickly, doesn't she? Might have dropped the first two service points, but then she wins the next two that the Frenchwoman serves up.
Yeah, she doesn't make any fuss about it. Wins a lot of points under the radar. And now she's got two serves. Could she extend her lead here, the world number one? Oh,
nicely done.
3.
She had to, and she's had to a couple of times really react quickly on the forehand just to get a block, get a return in, and that empowered YUAN here.
You have to always keep your eye on the ball and always keep your eye on Sun Yingsha if you're YUAN Jeonnam. She saw a little shift and went down the line. That was really crafty.
3,
She had an opportunity to attack YUAN Jeonnam, but when Sun Yingsha winds back for the forehand, YUAN isn't sure whether Sun is going to crack it or spin it. Playing with the additional rotation from time to time is clever from Sun. What a reach.
Really nicely played by the Frenchwoman then. Great angle she found.
That's what I mean by strong aggression and trying to change the direction of play soon.
And then that one really bounced up on Sun Yingsha.
It's tough sometimes to know how to calibrate a shot against the short pips because she's hitting it flat, YUAN Jeonnam. It's more of a straight flight path. Topspin normally skids a little bit once it hits the opponent's surface. So once she gets that forehand in, it is tricky to return, even for Sun.
Nice play.
YUAN Jeonnam is the best in the world with short pips on the forehand in the women's game.
Five, 6.
She's living with it much better in this game, having been blown away in the first.
Lovely propulsion through the backhand. Sun tried to change down the pace. YUAN was all over it. Great acceleration, great racket speed.
7-5.
A real history maker. A couple of seasons ago, became the first ever French woman to win the Europe Top 16 Cup. So she is a real trailblazer in her own right.
So experienced. So she's got Aurélien Puel coaching her here, but she's got such a wealth of knowledge in that 40-year-old head of hers.
Eight, 5.
She served so well in this game, John.
And remember those serve stats we put up after the first game. She's now taken 6 of the last 8 points that she could have won. This is her moment.
Wow. 9.
Well, she serves with the red side, which is the inverted side, to produce more spin. She twiddles, gets it on the backhand, and there really revs through. Stalling Shasha. She has to take this.
5.
You called her a third
10.
ball killer early on, and that's what she's been seeking to do, and it's a game plan that's worked so well for her thus far. She's even enjoying some benefits now against the Yingsha serve.
10-6.
Well, loses one of those game points, going for it a bit. And why not? What a comeback.
11-6.
She levels it up at a game apiece, and nobody, apart from the most hardcore Yingsha fans, could really dispute that. That was a very well played game, in particular off the back of a strong serve that Fraser highlighted there, as Yuan Jianan changes the complexion of this match, not entirely, but to a large degree, because they're level at 1 apiece. Yep, you're on camera. And there's Marlin with a bit more work to do than he had at the last game break. 11-6 to Yuan.
Derrière notre service, c'est pareil, que ce soit en revers ou en coup droit. Hein? Si on sert un peu sortant derrière, on peut jouer mieux, etc. Voilà, c'est très bien. Hein? Là, t'es dans le juste, c'est très bien. Simple, efficace.
Welcome back. So,
Sun to serve.
having just dropped a
Double.
game against Yuan Jianan for the first time ever in WTT encounters, it's Yingsha to serve at 1-1. She's not happy with a little bit of movement in the crowd. Now, I think she is.
I think it's just the lights. Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Double.
And now
One.
it starts again for Yuan Jianan, having done so well as Aurélien Puel celebrates a first point. This is where she's got to really tough it out, isn't it? Because Shasha, you can be sure, is going to roar back at her.
Even though she served so well in that last game, which really helped her, she can't rely on that.
Left.
There will be more to this, and
Love.
Sun will
One.
surely make some adaptations on the receive. If she wants to try and receive the serve with the backhand, she might have to stand more centrally on the table. At the table, I should say. Standing on the table is never a good tactic.
1-1, and now we come to that moment that you highlighted. The Yuan Jianan serve proved to be such a difference maker in the second game. What does Sun do now?
Will she go along with it? She does, to the middle. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant point construction from Yuan Zhen'an. You've got to make it a guessing game with that long serve. You've got to make Sun Yingsha think, okay, will it come long enough for me to attack? Should I step in and flick? And you've got to disguise it. You can't give any clues with the foremotion of the toss. And she doesn't. They're the ones you really have to take.
And, you know, that previous point, the quality of her shots in open play had been fantastic as well. So she'll be frustrated, as you said, that this isn't put away.
So her footwork isn't the strength. You won't see her playing the pirouettes. You won't see her playing far back from the table. She makes little shuffles with the feet, Yuan.
2, 3.
And if she can keep it short and keep it controlled like that, then we've got a really fascinating match evolving here.
Shasha saying you to accelerate up the ball a little bit more than what you are there. Float serve, clever.
3 all.
Clever serve, no spin on it. Low. Choyukia approves.
It's always good to see her pushed, asked questions, and then, of course, forced to come up with answers.
It's rare that you do see her pushed. Hannah got her. Got so close to her in Vegas and quite close to her here.
Again, she sets it up and she finishes it off. Okay, a little flick of the net. Here's a stat that you might not have expected to see at this stage of this match. She's won 12 of the previous 16 points, the French woman.
4 all.
Good recognition from Sun Yingsha, and the patience was key. She waited to see where the first bounce would land. And if Yuan Zhen'an's first bounce is near her own back line, Sun knows it will be a long serve. And she faded that. She stepped in and caressed the ball. Good deception.
5
Good deception.
4.
And those balls are easy pickings, really. That's more of training pace.
So, 2 points that will satisfy Sun Yingsha there as she serves. And when you give her a chance to get on top, beware.
She winds back and then actually comes around the side of the ball more there, Sun Yingsha, not giving Yuan Zhen'an the pace that she wants to be able to hit the ball flat and hard. Again, good shot selection from the world's best.
4-7.
And now the movement, she's able to match what's coming her way. Anticipation and, of course, technique. And look at this, having shown that incredible swing towards her opponent, Sun Yingsha has hit back, winning 6 of the previous 8 points.
Seven, 5.
Bravo, says Coach Puel.
Well, both French women here in the round of 32 putting up a good fight. Sun Yingsha, of course, not French. I'm referring to Pratika Pavard, who just took a game off of the champion Yokohama winner Chen Qintong.
Yeah, losing 3-1 there, right?
Yep. Good effort here as well from Yuan. Oh, yeah. But now
5.
Sun Yingsha is tightening the screw.
Left.
Yeah, Sun Yingsha and her fans can't really
8,
afford themselves the
5.
luxury of thinking about Tong Tong or anyone else right now. There's a task at hand here that needs to be completed, and it's a tough one.
Five, 9.
This is what makes us so good, isn't it? confronted by a problem or two in the last game. She's just played her game this time around and is on top.
She's having better success behind her serve, Yingsha, and it's been the empty serve that's been a real recipe for success.
And that weapon, the high toss Yuan Jinan serve, hasn't been as much of a factor as she now stares at 5 game points for her opponent, the world number 1. Too hot to handle.
7-5.
That's what the best in the business does. She comes roaring back to re-establish her lead. Going 2 games to 1 up here with a flex or 2 along the way. Yingsha is back, and she's going to have to do it the hard way, winning the 2 remaining games if she can. So as Marlin offers some advice, it's an 11-5 win in the 3rd for Xia. And speaking of Xia, look, back-to-back there wins Singapore Smash and champions Chongqing as we look at the Roll of Honor for 2025. And as this one rolls along here, there's Yuan Jinan, a winner at the Contender in Skopje. And if you come right to the end there and have a little look at Chen Xingtong, the winner in Yokohama, then Yingsha might think, I could have had my name on that. I could have been on there again. But that's gone now.
Yeah, Yuan Jinan in Skopje picking up a phenomenal win against Satsuki Odo. Her best win in a long time. That was a real resurgence for Yuan Jinan because she hadn't won a WTT Series title before that.
Okay, a little bit of French comeback there after the jiayos for Yingsha.
1 to serve.
But she has to do it the hard way against Xia now. Yuan Jinan, double lens, every possible lens focused on their favorite.
Well, even though it's a let cord which exposes the tactic there, I do really feel as though Yuan Jinan has to use the serve as an attack. If I was her, I would do more of the long, fast backspin serving, most of them to the wide backhand. It will be very difficult for Yingsha to pivot because the serve will be quick and she might not know it's coming. It will be very difficult for Yingsha to play the backhand up the line. It will be tough for her to deny Yuan Jinan a 3rd ball forehand. There it is. It's a really uncomfortable serve to receive because it's a little bit bouncy as well. You don't know how much to come through the ball and how much to come up the ball. And the side spin as well takes it away from the area you might think is the right area to strike. This is a clever start from Yuan.
One, two.
Yeah, I mean, Xia called the let there straight away. Both players back in position.
Love, 2. One, 2.
Seen that before, haven't we?
It's just a whirlwind, isn't it? A blur of red. She is just so good. Look at that. It's the best forehand in the women's game, hands down. And there's a lot of good ones.
2-all.
So 2 quick points, 1 on serve there. And all that Jinan can do is carrying on her serve. But it puts so much pressure on her. She isn't picking up points almost every time she throws that ball in the air. She knows she's going out here.
That's true. That's very, very true, John. Look at this toss.
3.
Look at that finish.
2.
Even higher toss on the serve there. That one's soaring into the sky here in the Renaissance Arena.
And she's got lots of room to work with in here. No worry about that. Keep going higher and higher.
Yeah. That one was just a little... That was a little bit too predictable.
That's the risk, isn't it, that she takes?
Yeah. it's very hard to execute a fast, long, high toss. That might be why Yuan Zhenan did it. But Xia could see with the foremotion it was coming there. Not the end of the world if you're Yuan Zhenan.
Four-three.
The fascinating thing about it is obviously when you are receiving, your focus is just going to be in the opponent's final movement anyway.
Yeah.
We're focusing on how high the ball goes, but Xia is not changing anything, is she?
No, and Yuan Zhenan is really struggling to receive Xia's serve correctly here. So let's see if she can come up with some foundational improvements.
Exactement, il fallait changer, t'as essayé le flip, c'est ça, et bien attaquer. Après le flip, on a dit que si on peut le mettre de temps en temps un peu sur elle, pour pas qu'elle soit prête à accélérer revers, c'est encore mieux, mais c'est le jeu de chaque fallait changer. En option, c'est là, pas de panique, hein, tranquille, tu l'envoies au milieu et tu vois que tu essaies de...
There's a lot to admire about the Yuan Zhenan game, isn't there? She's got some skill. She gets a lot of action on that ball.
Yeah, the average shot in the women's game, 125 rotations per second, so that one was about average. But her backhand obviously is the spinnier shot than the forehand. It's a really nice contrast, and it allows her that inverted rub as well to generate more spin before she twiddles.
Now she has to make inroads into the Sun Ying-Xia serve, which has proved hard lately.
Three-five.
Look at her controlling Sun Ying-Xia there.
Yeah, she has to use Yuan Zhenan's pace to her own advantage. Her backhand is much improved. I know she finished that rally with the forehand, but she's been a lot more mindful with her backhand in the last couple of games, Sun Ying-Xia. Beautiful forehand, though, there against the momentum of Yuan Zhenan's body weight.
There hasn't been a whole lot wrong about Yuan Zhenan's work over the last couple of points. It's just that Xia's been better.
And the 2008 Olympic champion, Marlin, is on his feet. He can sense now that Xia is in the ascendancy.
Yeah. When you watch the top Chinese players, as often as we do, there's a choreography with the coaches as well. It's no coincidence that they're on their feet clapping at the moment when they scent blood, if you will, when they sense, yeah, that this is the time to go in for the kill. And he's been on his feet for a little while now.
And it's amazing that, you know, it must feel great if you're Marlin. Your tactics come through the game of Sun Ying-Xia. The player is the vessel of your intention. And it's important here that Sun Ying-Xia makes a statement with Hina Hayata waiting for the winner of this one. A player that she's never lost to before.
She played well earlier, didn't she?
Yes, she did. She defeated Xin Yubin in 3 straight games.
So if we're sounding a little bit dismissive of the chances of Yuan Zhenan, well, that's just because the scoreboard pressure would suggest that Sun Ying-Xia should get this done, but maybe there's a late flurry here from the Frenchwoman.
Nine-five.
Seen her do that before. End of the first game. Looked to just tee off with a couple of spectaculars. Sun Ying-Xia.
Time out.
Just looking to calm things down a bit there, Marlin. Let's listen in and regroup.
在我觉得发球还可以发出来。如果你要是发的反手的话，可以往左点站。
这个球吗？
短的，对，
还是发
你发兜的没问题，对，发兜的没问题。如果说这个球发防守短，假如说
输了，
对，可以发防守短，
按防守人习惯，
对，让他戳，对，让他戳你这球里头冲不了，把还是拉起来啊。如果他这球你发防守短这个球的话，他表演这种还有机会再穿成主线的。啊，好吧，啊，没问题，对，那就随便发了啊，都顶前都没问题啊，坚持下来啊，没问题。
There's always so much great stuff to see when Suning Shah is on show, and those lenses have been capturing some spectacular stuff. Not sure how happy she'd be with that one, to be honest with you, but here we go. She might be happy in a couple of points' time because Suning Shah leads 9-5, serving to progress. Nearly there. 5 match points for the world number 1.
Six, 10.
It's not the end of the road yet for the French woman.
We are seeing a little late flourish here from YUAN Zhen'an. Great serve.
But she can't capitalize on it. And a smile on the face of Suning Shah. She might have enjoyed that a little bit. What do you reckon?
Yeah, nice little conversation between the two. They're obviously good friends off the table. YUAN Zhen'an always magnanimous in defeats. That match didn't teach us anything new about Suning Shah, but a result is a result, and she played so well there in the 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, and YUAN Zhen'an will know that for at least one game there, she made the world number 1 look second best. And it's the first time she'd ever taken a game of Suning Shah. That's a positive she'll take away. No wonder there's a smile there.
That's very true. The coach there with a good handshake, saying to her through his eyes, yeah, well done to take a game there. Very, very difficult to do that against a Suning Shah who is looking to prove a point here after losing quite early on at the last smash, the inaugural US smash.
Yep, and she looks as if she's in good shape. She's on a mission, and her immediate next challenge will be against an in-form Japanese star, Hina Hayata, but somebody who Suning Shah has coped with in the past. More on that when we get closer to that matchup. Smiles all around from both players involved in a really entertaining match. Hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed describing it as the action continues here. Let's have a little look, shall we, Fraser, at Shah again. This shows you point of contact. The shots in red are the ones to win points.
Yep. Suning Shah there, winning most of her balls from the backhand half. YUAN Zhen'an trying to play more into that corner, but with Sun's speed and her ability to pivot, was still able to impose herself for the most part.
So this is the story in terms of the scoreboard. 11-2, she blew her away in the first, but then a fight back by the French woman. And that might be something that Suning Shah talks about as we cross down to hear from her. She's with Xiaomian.
Here to congratulate our winner, Yingsha. Shasha, well done today. How would you summarize your performance in that match? 恭喜莎莎赢得这场比赛哦。那如何总结自己今天本场比赛的表现呢？
我觉得其实整场发挥的来说还是比较正常的。其实跟嘉南姐有一段时间没有交手了，但确实，其实面对今天这场比赛，我觉得上来的第一局，我觉得还是调动的非常不错。然后，其实，在赛前呀，包括这种准备方面，我觉得还是非常的准备的也非常充分吧。然后，确实可能第一局过后之后，其实他也在寻求一些发球的变化，或者说这种长球的比例。其实，但我觉得3、4局其实整体来说调整的还不错。其实场外其实马导也一直在告我说，其实技战术方面还是告诉我没问题，也一直在告诉我坚定战术。
I thought overall my performance today was acceptable. I did come in very well prepared. And in my first set, I thought my strategy was on point. There were some difficulties in a couple of the matches in there, especially when my opponent changed up her strategy with her serve. But I managed to find my way back in, and especially with the help of my coach as well, we managed to take home the win. Now, in the next round, you'll face Hina Hayata, and she's a very strong player herself. So how do you plan to prepare for that match? 那下一轮你将对阵早田希娜，自己会怎么准备和调整呢？
我觉得还是全力以赴吧，然后我觉得还是放下以往的跟早田的这种战绩。但其实巴黎奥运会结束以后，其实我们也将近1年没有交手过了，但可能在上个周期来说，其实算老对手吧，也非常熟悉。但我觉得面对明天的比赛，我觉得也是应该会很艰苦，所以说我也希望自己能够全力以赴，然后去拼吧。
It really has been a while since I faced Hina Hayata on the world stage. The last time we played was in Paris. But after that match, we haven't really played much. So I know that going into that match, it will be a challenging one. I will definitely prepare well and hopefully bring home the best possible results tomorrow. Thank you so much, Sasha. 再次恭喜你, Sasha.
Yeah, she always gives a great interview, doesn't she? She didn't have to tell us.